Okay, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Sunday morning mindful yoga. Next weekend, it will also be Sunday morning, same time, same place. And just a couple of announcements. There's a new podcast out this morning, which is about Ni Cheng's experience with mindfulness and being an Asian American physician during COVID, and how a beginner's mind can alter that experience. And so I highly recommend it. It's really special, and she's quite vulnerable, and I learned a lot from it. So I encourage you to take a listen. And there's one more spot left for my May retreat if anyone wants to join. That's the last spot, and then I'll figure out when I'm going to do the next one. And I think that's otherwise it. So take a comfortable spot on your mat, wherever you are. Find a block or a bolster or a blanket to sit up on and ground into. It's Earth Week this week, and so I wanted to focus a bit on grounding and using that Earth's energy today. So take a moment to settle into the earth. And what I mean by that is ground your sit bones into whatever you're sitting on. And with intention, the sit bones are when you tilt your pelvis forward, you notice something reaching downward. So connect with that and really press that into the earth beneath you. And take a moment and just notice how that feels. And then tilt your pelvis forward and grow your spine long and tall towards the sky. Reach the crown of your head towards the sky and drop your shoulders with intention. And take a moment here to just sit and notice how you feel, even before you focus on the breath. Notice how the act of grounding into the stability of the earth below changes how you feel inside. And notice the energy perhaps coming from that connection, and borrow it and use it and enjoy it. And as we get started, I wanted to share a little bit just about the kind of yoga that I teach. I actually got a lot of questions this week, and I know many of you come all the time, but I thought it would be worth sharing. So I call it mindful yoga because I'm blending mindfulness and movement and breath and yoga into something that's designed to nourish and heal, but not just your body, your mind, your heart, and your spirit. And so it's a combination of the style of yoga, which is called Hatha yoga, which is one in which you hold the poses rather than flowing and moving. And it's different than power yoga and hot yoga, as I know many of you have noticed. And that's because there's a whole component of yoga that's about how you live your life and an approach to life. And it's about mindfulness and intention. And so that's the piece that many people notice is different about this type of yoga. Focusing on your mind and your heart and your intention, how you want to feel, how you want to live, how you want to love, how you want to connect, and how you want to show up in the world as a human, a perhaps imperfect human, or a perfectly imperfect or imperfectly perfect human, but to show up with intention, with kindness and acceptance and love and humor, and with an intention to grow and heal and nourish so that you can show up as the best version of you. So it's really about the experience, not just on the mat in this hour, but how you experience life and being able to shift and create space in your heart and in your mind to do that with intention. And so today I'm wanting to focus on creating space Spaciousness and groundedness are two pieces that allow us to show up with that mindful, kind, compassionate intention. And so in honor of Earth Day, also, using the Earth's energy to help us do that can be really powerful in feeling more alive and finding energy. So with that, take a long, deep inhale through your nose and a huge, long exhale out through your mouth. And another inhale through your nose and an exhale through your mouth. If you feel comfortable, close your eyes and focus within. Focus your attention on your heart, in that heart space, the spot behind your heart. Bring your left hand to your heart and place your right hand atop and just press in gently. Notice how that feels. Long, deep inhale and a huge exhale. And then take your right hand and place it on your navel. Notice how that feels. A different feeling, a different sense of connection within. And draw your attention to your sit bones underneath and the earth's stability and energy coming up through your sit bones, through your pelvis, to your hand, over your navel or your solar plexus. Tilt your pelvis, grow your spine long and tall towards the sky. Reach the crown of your head upwards. Take in a long, deep inhale here. And a huge exhale. And then move your right hand down a couple inches to that spot on your belly in between. And press in gently there. And notice how that feels. It's the spot where we store energy, come alive. We can draw that energy up from the earth into that spot. It's the spot of noticing what feels good and allowing and enjoying it, showing up for life with more energy and spirit and aliveness. And notice that perhaps it feels uncomfortable. Many of us aren't in a spot where we can allow and enjoy that. And so my offering today in yoga is to notice that and perhaps with intention, loosen it a bit. Similarly to how we often talk about that spot behind the heart that we try to grow and open and create space. Can you create space in this lower belly area? It's the area of your sacral chakra, as they say. And it's one for many of us that feels out of balance and stuck. So send compassion there, kindness there, acceptance for whatever is. And perhaps today, can you loosen that just a little bit? Open it up. Make space to enjoy and experience and connect fully and live more fully and love more fully and laugh a little bit more and see the joy and feel the joy in all that is. Take a long, deep inhale through your nose and a huge exhale. Notice once again your sit bones ground downward into the earth. Bring your hands to heart center. Place your palms together, touch your finger pads, elbows out wide. Tilt your pelvis forward once again with intention, just slightly. With purpose, grow that spine long and tall. Heart is light in the chest. Press the thumbs into the sternum firmly. Palms connect with intention. Each finger pad, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Connect. Notice the skin touch. Long, deep inhale in through your nose. long, sweet exhale. Take a moment to pause here and connect with your own intention. What might you be able to discover or be willing to look at to find a little more joy, to enjoy what is without guilt, discover pleasure, happiness, fun. Enjoy the energy from the earth beneath and the sky above. Perhaps letting your light shine a little bit more during this hour and in the week ahead. Slowly lower your hands to your thighs and open your eyes and just notice perhaps how you feel. Perhaps a little more energy, a little more openness, brightness, hopefully feeling a little bit better. Take the block or bolster out from under you if you have a big thing under you. If you are on a blanket, you can keep that. Bringing the soles of your feet together, we're going to come directly into butterfly pose. Rock side to side on your sit bones. Take your hands, grab your arches or your ankles, draw your heels in gently towards your groin. Once again, ground into the earth. Notice the sit bones connect underneath you. Tilt your pelvis forward, grow your spine long and tall. Neck is long. Imagine fingers pressing into those bones behind your ears and lift your head up a tiny bit more. Inhale deeply, stretch your chest forward, and exhale, let things go. Once again, inhale deeply. Exhale, ground those sit bones down into the earth, chest puffs forward gently. One more deep inhale, lengthen the spine. And exhale, let it go. Release your hands from your ankles and stretch your legs out wide in either direction in a wide angle pose. Gently, for those of you that are just starting your day. Wiggle a little bit on those sit bones. Notice them connect to the earth. Tilt your pelvis forward, spine is long and tall. Take your hands and just place them on the floor in front of you. Flex your toes towards your nose with intention. Once again, grow your spine long and tall and drop your shoulders. Crown of the head reaches towards the sky. Neck is long. Pay attention to those bones behind the ears. Lift them up just a smidge and notice how you feel. Inhale deeply and exhale, let it go. Legs are engaged fully, toes and ankles flexed. Press your knees towards the earth and just notice how firmly connected to the earth below you feel. Release your hands from in front, pick them up, bring them back behind your sit bones, press them into the earth. Straight your elbows, chest reaches forward, shoulders drop. Deep inhale here. Every muscle engaged in the legs, toes, ankles. And huge exhale. Once again, inhale, root down deeply. And exhale, let it go. Release everything. Take your hands to the outer edges of your thighs and gently slide your feet together. Once again, rock side to side on those sit bones and enjoy it. And for all of this, do what works for you. Notice what feels good. If something doesn't, modify, adapt, adjust. Bend your knees slightly here. Ground the sit bones down once again with intention. Ground your heels into the earth, knees slightly bent. Tilt your pelvis forward, engage your belly. Inhale, reach your arms up towards the sky, and exhale, fold forward gently towards your toes, grabbing them lightly. And if you wish, and you have the flexibility, press your knees towards the earth and notice the expansiveness in the back of the legs, the sensations. Breathe into it. And exhale, let it go. Hinge at the hips a little further if that works for you. Notice your sit bones once again ground into the earth. Inhale, draw up the energy in through the sit bones into the chest. And exhale, hinge a tiny smidge forward. Just notice all the sensations. And if you need, keep your knees bent, hinge forward this way. Inhale and exhale. Release your hands, walk your hands up your shins to your knees, to your thighs. Straight your torso towards the sky. Inhale deeply. Take your hands, bring them behind you, tense your fingertips, press them into the earth. Press your knees down towards the floor, toes towards your nose. Breathe in deeply, Tadasana, staff pose. Exhale, let it go. Once again, inhale into that pelvis area, the sacral chakra, the couple inches below your belly button. Fill it up, create space. Exhale, let it go. Release everything once again. And swing your feet around, come into hands and knees. Tabletop position, hands directly under your shoulders, knees directly under your hips. Knees are hips width. Ground the tops of your feet into the earth, both hands into the earth. Widen your fingers, equal pie shapes between each fingers. Ground your palms into the earth, straight your elbows, strong arms, strong core. Back is flat, you could balance a tray on it. Take a moment, once again, and focus on that spot a couple inches below your belly button. Draw it inward. Notice its strength, perhaps any energy there, and just focus on it for just a moment. Engage your belly, strong. And slowly press your hips back. We're going to come into child's pose here. You can bring your knees apart, toes together, hips sink back down and low towards your heels, and you walk your hands far, far forward, inch by inch, towards the front of the mat, and slowly lower your forehead or your third eye to touch the earth, if you can. The tops of your arms are not touching the earth, but notice your fingertips touch, perhaps your forearms. Notice the energy coming up through the shoulders. You'll likely notice this beautiful stretch in the back of the shoulders. And then with intention, sink your hips back down and low towards your heels and breathe into that groin area and just enjoy it. If this is too uncomfortable, you can put like a block or a bolster under between your calves and your thighs and just relax and enjoy this. Notice it. 3 long, deep breaths here. Once again, noticing the energy from grounding into the stability of the earth below. Borrow it. Use it. And if you feel like it, just tap your pinkies towards the earth and then your fourth finger, third finger, second finger, thumb, index finger, middle finger, fourth finger, little finger. Notice the lightness and playfulness just from that, even in this position. And gently come back to hands and knees. Walk your hands a handprint forward. Curl your toes and press your hips up towards the sky. Come into downward dog and just enjoy it. Notice all the sensations. Walk your heels out. Press one heel into the earth and the other. Bend your left knee straight, your right, and press that heel with intention towards the earth. Notice all the sensations here. Bend the right knee fully, press the left heel towards the earth completely. Notice all the sensations. Come back up to your tiptoes. Rise up as high as you can on your tiptoes. Shift your hips towards the sky.
Press into your hands and hips reach up and back as far as you can. Press strongly into your arms. Lift up onto your tiptoes and slowly lower your heels towards the earth. Notice all the sensations there. Deep inhale into that chest space, the pocket behind your heart. Fill it up with intention. And exhale, let it go. This time, deep inhale into your navel. Fill it all the way up, all the way down into your belly. And let it go. And a deep inhale into that spot a couple inches below your belly button. And let it go. Inhale, ground both hands into the earth. Raise your right leg up towards the sky. Hip square towards the earth. Heel presses into the back wall. Three-legged dog. Exhale, stack your hip, bend your knee, roll that right ankle out in one direction and then the other. Just notice all the sensations. Straighten your foot, leg, re-square your hips. Gently bring your right foot between your hands. Come into Anjanayasana here. Low lunge. Wiggle those right toes far forward so your ankle is in front of your knee. Untuck your back toe, square your hips, move with purpose and intention here. Wiggle those right toes a little farther forward. Inhale both arms up towards the sky. Come into a low lunge, Anjanayasana. Exhale, sink into the hips. Inhale, reach your fingertips long and tall towards the sky. Exhale, sink down a little lower. Notice the ball of your right foot ground into the earth. Notice the top of the left foot ground into the earth. Inhale deeply here. And exhale, sink your pelvis a little lower towards the earth. Inhale, draw up the energy through that front foot, through the front knee, into the pelvis area. Exhale, let things go, sink a little lower. Once more, draw up the energy through your right foot, right leg, into your abdomen. Exhale, sink down into the earth. Slowly lower your hands to either side of your right foot. Curl your back toe, lift up to a high lunge. Re-square your hips, tap your right hip back, left hip forward. Stay low, hands on the earth here. Inhale into that right hip area, front of the left hip. Hips square, body down and low. And exhale, let it go. One more inhale and exhale. Take your right hand, bring it to the inside of that right foot, both palms on the earth. Walk your right foot to the outer edge of the mat. Roll your right foot open so you're on the outer edge of the right foot. You're coming into a high lizard here. And just for a moment, notice all the sensations in the groin area. Your knee rolls out a little bit. You can stay up on your fists or your palms, whichever works for you. 2 breaths here. Just notice all the sensations, sending love, compassion, finding spaciousness with kindness throughout. Take your right hand, place it on the outside of your right foot, roll back towards a flat right foot, wiggle those right toes back towards the center of the mat. Straighten your right knee and come into a long pyramid. Both legs are straight here. Back heel is off the ground likely. Tuck your right hip back and left hip forward. Notice all the sensations. Huge inhale into your chest, big exhale. One more breath here. Take your right hand, bring it on the inside of your right foot. Ground both hands into the earth and step back directly to downward dog once again. Notice how you feel. Notice the difference between the right side and the left side. Walk your heels out. You can swing your hips a little bit. Bend your arms, sway side to side. Press into both hands. Shift those hips up towards the sky. Lower your heels. Notice all the sensations here. Deep inhale into your chest. Big exhale. Inhale, raise your left leg straight towards the back wall. Press your heel, three-legged dog towards the back wall. Hips are squared. Both arms straight and strong, right leg strong. Exhale, bend the left knee, stack the hip, roll the left ankle in either direction, and enjoy it. Notice any quivering in your arms, legs, anything calling out. Extend your left leg towards the back wall once again. Re-square your hips. Exhale and gently and slowly bring that left foot between your hands. Come into Anjanayasana on this side. Low lunge. Wiggle those left toes forward. Engage your belly. Raise both arms towards the sky. Tag your left hip back, right hip forward. Square your hips. Inhale, lengthen towards the sky. Exhale, sink into your hips. Inhale, lengthen towards the sky. Exhale, sink a little bit lower. If your right knee bugs you here, you can fold over your mat so it's doubled under your knee. You can use a blanket under your knee also. Pay attention. If something's bugging you, don't continue to do it. Inhale, reach your fingertips tall. Exhale, sink down a little bit lower. Sink those hips towards the earth. Gently lower your hands towards either side of that front foot. Untuck your back toe. Straight your right leg into a high lunge. Both hands on the earth, torsos down and low, just lying gently above the left thigh. Notice all the sensations here. Tuck the right hip forward, left hip back, square everything, even it out. Inhale into the chest, all the way down through the abdomen, into the pelvis, down through the right leg, into the right foot. Take your left hand, bring it on the inside of the left leg, wiggle that left foot to the outer edge of the mat, roll open on your left foot onto the outer edge of that left foot. Coming into a high lizard pose, a huge pelvis opening. Breathe into it with kindness and compassion. Just notice what comes up. Let go of whatever you can. Send energy throughout. Notice the energy coming up through your fists, palms, right foot. Draw it all into that center space, and towards your navel. Filling up your belly and your abdomen today rather than just your chest. Take your left hand, bring it to the outside of that left foot. Wiggle it back towards the center. Straight the left knee, come into a long pyramid here. Both legs are straight. Once again, tack your left hip back and your right hip forward. Notice all the sensations in both legs here. Reach your back heel towards the earth, but it won't touch. Breathe into it. Huge inhale into the chest and let it go. Once again, huge inhale. Let it go. Bend that front knee, press off the back foot, and huge step all the way forward. Come to have your feet meet at the front of the mat, forward fold. Head and neck release completely. Take your hands, grab your elbows. Sit bones reach high towards the sky. Inhale deeply into your chest. And exhale, let it go. With intention, notice your feet ground into the earth. Lift up all 10 toes, ground the 4 corners of your feet. So the 2 front balls of your feet in like a long rectangle towards your heels into the earth with intention. Lower your toes down. Shift your weight into your toes. Gently, easily. Shift, sway towards your heels. Shift, sway towards the left and towards the right, like a tree in the breeze. Towards the left once again. Back to center. Towards your heels once again. Shift towards your toes once again. And then come back to center. Notice where there really truly does feel like a center spot, a balanced spot, a strong spot. Release your hands towards the earth, engage your belly, and roll up gently, vertebrae by vertebrae. Head will be the last to rise. Notice all the sensations as you rise up here, how it feels. Stand tall when you get there. Shrug your shoulders up to your ears as tight and high as you can. Draw them back together towards the back of the mat. Pinch your shoulder blades together. Notice all the sensations. And slowly lower your hands towards the front of the mat. Palms open to the front. Tadasana or mountain pose. Once again, ground down into the earth. Lift up all 10 toes. Ground the 4 corners. Deeply root them. Lower your toes. Inhale, draw the energy up through both legs like tree trunks. Engage your kneecaps, your thighs. Tuck your pelvis. Grow your spine long and tall towards the sky. Heart is with intention light in the chest, floating. Lengthen your neck. Notice those bones behind your ears, and as if your yoga teacher in class were gently touching that and lifting the crown of your head towards the sky. Drop your shoulders, long and tall, Tadasana. Close your eyes if you're comfortable. Deep inhale through your nose. And a huge exhale. Notice how you feel. Bring your left hand to your heart and your right hand to your navel for a moment. Notice how that feels. Inhale deeply once again. Exhale. Press gently in with that left hand into the heart space. And exhale, let it go. Move your right hand down an inch or 2, just under the navel, and press in gently there. Notice how that feels. And once again, bring your hands together at heart center. Press your palms together, finger pads touch, each one. Thumbs press into the sternum, elbows out wide. Deep inhale into your chest. And exhale, let it go. Open your eyes and let the light back in. And just take a moment to center and notice. Lower your arms, inhale them out and up towards the sky. Palms come together, slight arch back, fold forward, forward fold. Inhale for a half lift, spine straight. Sit bones reach back, legs are straight, crown of the head reaches forward. Exhale, forward fold. Ground your hands into the earth, step back to plank and pause. Long and strong, engage your entire core, the whole abdomen. With intention, shift your weight forward onto your toes, bend your knees, untuck your toes, bend your elbows, lower down chaturanga towards the earth, and come to rest with your forehead on the floor. Weight is out of your hands, untuck your toes. Pause here. Ground the front of your hips into the earth. Gently rise up, low cobra. Crown of the head reaches towards the sky, chest shines forward, weight is out of the hands. Exhale, lower down. Once again, inhale for low cobra. Crown of the head reaches towards the sky, heart is light, shines forward, weight is out of the hands. Exhale, lower down. We're going to come into Sphinx pose here. So take it slow and easy if your back bothers you at all. And if you want to just hang out here and rest one ear on the floor, you can do that too. Take your hands, bring them in front of you. Elbows under your shoulders to start. Forearms on the earth, palms touch the floor. Ground those sit bones into the earth. And inhale, reach the crown of your head towards the sky. Come into a Sphinx pose. You'll notice a lovely stretch in the front of your abdomen. You can walk your elbows forward a little bit if you feel any pinchiness in your back. Elbows ground into the earth. Fronts of the hips ground into the earth. Tops of the feet ground into the earth. One more breath here. And exhale, lower back down. Bring your hands under your shoulders. Press back gently into child's pose to release your lower back. Knees can come apart, toes together, hips sink down and low, and walk your fingertips long towards the front of the mat once again. Stretch the whole side body long. Walk those fingertips finger by finger towards the front of the mat and lower your forehead towards the earth. Take a pause here. Notice perhaps how your energy has shifted. What feels different within? Notice if there's more space in that spot behind the heart. Notice how the hips, groin, and pelvis area all feel. Breathe in deeply. Once again, long, deep, smooth inhale into the hips. Lower them down towards your heels. Release everything. Slowly shift back up to hands and knees and downward dog. Take a moment here to get organized. Ground into both hands, arms long and straight, hips reach up and back. Deep inhale into your chest. And exhale, lower your heels towards the earth. Close your eyes if you're comfortable. Breathe into that spot behind the heart. And let it go. Breathe in towards your navel. Fill up your abdomen all the way down to your belly button. And let it go. And a longer, deeper inhale all the way into the pelvis area. Fill it all the way up with nourishing, healing breath. Sending love and light. And exhale, let it go. Gently walk your hands back towards your feet. Come into a forward fold for a moment. Widen your stance gently. Take your hands, reclasp them at your sacrum. Extend your fists, straighten your elbows. Allow your fists to fall over your head and neck. Release the head and neck. And notice the stretch in the front of the shoulders and enjoy it. Huge inhale into the front of the shoulders. Exhale, let everything go. Once again, deep inhale. Perhaps you notice your belly grazing the tops of your thighs. Send the breath to that spot. Fill it up. And exhale, let it go. Bend your left knee, straight your right, tip towards the right. Fill up that side of the belly. Might even notice it in your waist and let it go. Bend your right knee, straight your left, twist gently towards the left. Same thing, breathe into the left side of the belly. Left waist, exhale, let it go. Come back to center, bend your knees. Gently bring your hands back towards your sacrum. Release your fingertips, allow them to run down towards the earth, down the back of your thighs. Engage your belly and slowly roll up inch by inch to stand. Go ever so slowly so you don't get dizzy. Take it as slow as you need. When you arrive, shrug your shoulders up to your ears gently. Draw them back towards one another and lower them towards the earth, palms open. Eyes open. Just notice all the tingling, all the energy throughout. Moving within. Huge inhale and big exhale. We're going to come down into Yogi Squat. Some of you will need a blanket under your heels if your feet and ankles are formed in a way that they don't touch. It's not that you're not flexible. So put your heels on a blanket. You're going to widen your stance to like a second position and slowly bend your knees and lower down. If your heels touch the earth, fantastic. If you need to bring the earth up to your heels, like I do, feel free. You're going to shift your weight back into those heels and bring your hands together in front. Yogi Squat or Garland Pose, it's also called. Notice the energy of the earth coming up through your heels into your legs. Sink your sit bones down and low. If anyone, this is too much for anyone, the other trick is to take a block and you can actually just sit on it in the same way. And you have a little bit more support. You get a similar opening, but it's not as intense. So if for some of you that is not comfortable, try the block. It actually feels truly lovely. And again, more is not better. It's allowing the release, sending the breath into the hips, which often don't get much of a release, and enjoy it. One more breath here. Lower your hands towards the earth. Shift your hips up, straight your knees, turn your toes to face front, come into a forward fold for a moment, release everything. If you have the blanket underneath you, take it out of the way. Slowly engage your belly and with intention, once again, rise up to stand. Head will be the last to rise. Turn your toes out once again towards the side. Widen your feet, quite wide, a wide second position. Bend your knees so your knees are directly over your toes and sink your hips down. We're going to come into Goddess Pose. Once again, grounding into earth for Earth Week, borrowing its energy and enjoying its energy. So sink your hips down and low. Knees are directly over your toes. You can even widen your toes out further if that feels good. Bring your hands to heart center. Inhale deeply into that heart space. And exhale, sink your hips down and low even more. Pause here. It's a very strong pose. You may notice shaking and wiggling and wobbling. If you wish, raise your right heel off the earth and lower it down. Inhale, raise your left heel off the earth. Lower it down. If you wish, you can raise both arms up in a cactus shape. Inhale here. Exhale, sink a little bit lower. Straight your arms towards the sides. Inhale into your chest space. Notice the shaking, wiggling, wobbling, and just enjoy it. Exhale, let it go.
Lower your hands towards your thighs, straight your legs, heel toe your feet back in towards the center, and just shake everything out. You can woggle your hips, roll your shoulders back 3 times, roll them forward 3 times, and just enjoy it. So I want to do pigeon pose. If anyone has bad knees, I'm gonna offer you to do lying on your back, figure 4. So I'll just show that quickly. For those people who are gonna do figure 4, you'll take your right ankle over your left knee and draw your left thigh in to release that outer right thigh. But for everyone else, come to hands and knees once again. Take your right knee, pick it up, bring it forward towards your hands. You're going to bring your right knee to the outer edge of the right side of the mat, right toes to the left side of the mat. Curl your back toes, lift up your knee, shift your weight backwards, wiggle those toes backwards all the way, coming into, we call it one-legged pigeon pose. It's a huge inner hip release. Walk your hands gently back towards your right knee. You can press your fists or palms into the earth, reach the crown of your head up towards the sky. If your knee hurts here, you can go into figure 4 or play with where your heel is. You can draw your heel all the way into the groin area, or it can be completely straight towards the front of the mat. Inhale into your chest, into that pocket behind the heart, in this upright one-legged pigeon. Exhale, send the energy down into the hips and release. Once again, inhale deeply into the outer edge of that right hip. Notice everything that's coming up and what may be getting in the way of joy and presence, and just gently loosen it and allow it to float away, little by little, inch by inch. Once again, deep inhale into that area in the outer right hip. Exhale, let it go. 2 more breaths. This one directs to the pocket behind your heart. Fill it up so that heart can fill completely and diastole, and send love out everywhere. Inhale. Exhale, let it go. This deep inhale into the belly area. All the way down, fill it up, send the air into that pocket in the front of the abdomen, below the belly button. And exhale, let it go. Gently walk your hands forward. You're going to curl those back toes, press into your hands, and slowly untangle that right leg. I recommend coming into a downward dog in between to release and press one heel and then the other into the earth. For those of you who are doing figure 4, you're going to switch to the other side. Come back to hands and knees. Draw your left knee forward this time. Left knee goes to the left edge of the mat. Left toes inch towards the right, or they can stay in towards your groin, whichever works for you. Untuck your back toes, wiggle them as far back as you can, and slowly lower the right knee towards the earth and untuck the toes. Walk your hands towards your knee. Inhale, reach your spine up towards the sky. A one-legged pigeon on this side. Crown of the head reaches forward. Once again, you can play with that left foot, depending on what feels good. And use your hands to support you, keeping not all of the weight into the pelvis. Inhale into your chest. Exhale, let it go. Inhale into that pocket behind the heart. Fill it up with light. Exhale, sink your pelvis down. You may want to untuck and retuck those back toes. Readjust your knee if it's not comfortable. Readjust your left foot if it's not comfortable. Lift up in your hips, lift down in your hips. Pay attention to what feels good to you and honor it. Inhale once again into that chest space. Fill it with light and love. and spaciousness. And exhale, let it go. Inhale the breath into the navel belly area. Fill it up with light and love. Exhale, let it go. Notice the outer edge of the left hip. Inhale into that pocket. Exhale, let it go. And last long breath here, all the way down into the area below the belly button, the front lower abdomen. Fill it up with nourishing air, light, love, spaciousness, allowing fun there. And as you let it go, ground your hips downward towards the earth. Notice your connection to the earth below. Reground your palms into the earth if you're up on your fists gently. Curl those back toes, shift your weight forward, untangle with care that left leg, and come back to hands and knees gingerly with kindness. And just notice all the sensations. Ground into your hands, ground the balls of your feet into the earth. Press into your arms, straight both arms, long and straight. Earth's energy coming up through the arms, through the spine. Sit bones reach high and back. Slowly lower your heels towards the earth. Notice all the sensations. Once again, walk your hands back towards your feet. Widen your feet gently. Ground them into the earth. Engage your belly and roll up inch by inch by inch by inch. Head will be the last to rise. Shrug your shoulders up to your ears, draw them back towards the back of the mat and lower them towards the floor. Tadasana or mountain pose. A final mountain here, ground into the earth. Draw its energy up through your tree trunk legs to your knees, into the pelvis. Tuck your pelvis, grow your spine long and tall, heart is light. Drop your shoulders, crown of the head reaches skyward. Exhale, let it go. We'll slowly transition here to seated first. Extend your legs long in front of you. Move slowly and kindly. Connect with the earth when you arrive. Ground your sit bones down once again. Tilt your pelvis forward so you really feel that connection. Grow your spine long and tall towards the sky. Inhale, fill up your chest. And exhale, ground downward once again. Inhale, both arms up towards the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Release your head and neck, let everything go. Close your eyes and go inward here for a moment. Just notice how you feel. Gently walk your hands back up your knees towards your thighs. Arch, gently reach the crown of your head towards the sky and let everything go. Bring your hands to be parallel to your legs and slowly roll back to lie down with everything engaged. Full intentional movement. Roll inch by inch by inch by inch till you come to lie on the earth. Notice your strength as you move. And when you land on that earth, connect and enjoy it. Toes will relax outward towards the outer edges of the mat. Palms open towards the sky. Notice your occiput touch the earth, back of the head. Allow the light to come up through the back of your head into that spot behind your eyeballs. And just enjoy it.
your palms over, bend your knees, walk your heels back towards your buttocks. Extend your fingers towards your heels, so palms flip over to face the earth. Inhale, press up into an easy bridge pose. Reach your sit bones skyward, shimmy the shoulders underneath you just a little. Reach your hips high and skyward. Knees connect energetically. Engage your buttocks. Notice all the sensations in the back of the body. Inhale deeply. Reach those hips, sit bones skyward. Exhale, lower back down towards the earth. On the next inhale, raise both arms up above you as you raise your hips up towards the sky. Inhale, arms reach up above you, hips reach towards the sky, knees connect energetically into a bridge pose with arms extended long. Exhale, bring your hands back up towards the sky, lower them towards the floor as you lower your hips towards the floor. It's like a flow bridge. Inhale, once again, lift your hips up towards the sky, hands come up towards the sky, and hands and arms lower long above you, hips reach skyward. Engage your belly. Pelvis shines up towards the sky, buttocks fully engaged, knees connect energetically. Exhale, lower your arms and hips back down by your side, inch by inch by inch, and come to rest. Notice how you feel when you land back on the earth. Press into your feet, lift your hips up, shift them gently about 2 inches towards the left. Draw your knees into your chest and allow your knees to fall towards the right into a twist. Your hips should be stacked, knees close to stacked if that works for you. Take your right hand, press it, lay it atop the left knee or thigh, wherever your arm comfortably reaches. Left arm can stay by your side, reach out towards the side, or up in an easy cactus shape, depending on what feels right for your shoulders and your space. So just notice, there's no better or worse here. Notice the twist. Breathe into it. Notice where you feel it. If you wish, you can gaze towards the left to intensify the twist, but you can also stay, gaze towards the sky. Gentle, easeful, nourishing, healing, creating space within. One more breath here. On the exhale, turn your gaze back to center. Release your right hand. Bring your knees back to center. Ground the soles of your feet into the earth. Lift up your hips and bring them about 4 inches to the right side this time. Draw your knees back into your chest and allow your knees to fall towards the left this time. Knees are stacked, hips are stacked, and if that doesn't work out, just readjust. Left hand comes to rest gently atop the right thigh. Right arm can stay by your side, reach out towards the side, or gentle cactus shape above. Easy cactus, whatever works for you. Neither is better or worse, just enjoy it. In fact, notice what feels good and allow yourself the joy. Notice the space that perhaps you feel in the chest here. Notice everything slowing down and settling. Notice perhaps that left hip grounding into the earth. Draw the energy up through it on the inhale, into your pelvis, in through your abdomen, up into your heart space. Exhale, let things go. Bring your gaze back to center if you looked to the right. Release your left hand. Bring your knees back to center. Pick up your hips and bring them back to center. Untuck your shoulders. Bring the soles of your feet together, knees apart. Come into Supta Baddha Konasana or a reclining butterfly. Your arms will come to bring your left hand to your heart, right hand to your belly. Deep inhale here and exhale. Press gently on the inhale into the heart space with the left hand. And on the exhale, take your right hand and lower it an inch or two towards the lower belly and allow it to rest there. Notice your sacrum connect to the earth beneath. Notice if you can draw up the energy of the earth through your sacrum into your belly. Notice your heartbeat under your left hand. Can you notice any kind of a heartbeat? Perhaps from the earth under the right hand. Two more long, sweet inhales here. Just enjoy. Enjoy the connection, stability, the spaciousness. Feeling grounded and strong. Take both hands to the outer edges of your thighs and gently draw your knees together. Use your hands to help you. Slowly lengthen your legs long in front of you and allow your toes to fall towards the outer edge of the mat. Take your hands, release them by your sides. Palms open towards the sky, about 6 inches from your waist. Coming into Shavasana or corpse pose. Final resting pose. A chance to lay upon the earth. Connect deeply with it. And perhaps you notice as you lie here, the energy that may lift you up off the earth in your mind. Are you floating? You have that sense of lightness. Can you enjoy it? Perhaps like a easeful magic carpet ride. Take a few moments here with whatever feels right to you, grounding downward in the comfort and cradle of the earth's arms, or perhaps an easeful flight, feeling light, unencumbered, and energetic on the breezes and the clouds.
Gently begin to deepen your breath. Come back into your body, your mind's eye. Start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Literally come back into control of your body. Inhale your arms long above you. Stretch your toes long in front of you. Extend everything, fill up with final nourishing, long, deep breath and stretch. And exhale, let things go. Draw your knees into your chest gently and roll over to whatever side feels right, and pause for a moment there. Notice how you feel. Do you feel more connected to yourself, to the earth, more in touch with who you are, more alive perhaps? And take a moment to think about what of this would you like to bring forth with you into the rest of this beautiful spring Sunday and Earth Week ahead. Press into your hands and slowly rise up to a comfortable seat where we began. Back on your block blanket bolster, or connect your sit bones into the earth. Tilt your pelvis gently forward. Ground the sit bones downward. Grow tall, long, light, strong through your spine, through the crown of your head. Exhale, release. Inhale, lift those bones behind the ears up towards the sky. Exhale, drop your shoulders. Bring your hands to heart center. Connect each finger pad. Press your palms together, elbows out wide with intention, arms engaged. Press your thumbs into your sternum. Deep inhale into the chest space. And exhale. The light in me honors and reflects the light and energy in each and every one of you. May you all have a beautiful week. Namaste.